Pocahontas, 1600s, right? They would say that Pocahontas was an Indian or whatever. No such thing as an Indian. They say Indian, they're talking about people from India. And this isn't India. So Indians can't be indigenous people here. This is America. Indians could only be indigenous in India. And like Germans could only be indigenous in Germany.
The name Indian, right? Everybody was given the name Indian because of Christopher Columbus, because when he was sailing for India. So that name, he gave everybody the name Indian. Everybody was Indian to him, to his book or to their book.
Right.
So the word India,
but they're
from them.
But
that's a brand.
That's the
That's
thing.
a brand, my brand from them.
Exactly.
It's
a brand.
He was looking for India.
Exactly.
Because everybody were Indian.
Exactly.
Right.
That's right. He called us. We were called Indian.
West
Everybody.
Indian or
Indian.
East Indian, you know what I mean, whatever,
Yeah.
Indian, because everybody was Indian to him. So it was just coming out of his.
But it's how you interpret it.
But again,
You take that on.
right? Everybody was Indian to him, but the people on his own ship looked like Indians. And he never called them Indians. So if the people on his own ship look like Indians, well, he's not going to call them Indians, he's going to call them Spaniards. And then he's going to call the Indians that he thinks are Indians. But he's not going to call the people on his own boat that he's seeing going across the Atlantic Ocean to go to so-called India that he was looking for. He's not calling those guys Indians.
Plus, he was a half-breed too, Christopher Columbus. Going on like he was a Caucasian.
He was a Moor.
Big
No.
time. Of course, he was a Moor.
Sorry, there was a couple in the back.
You already said what I said, like, what I was saying.
Okay. They've been studying. Somebody else had a hand up?
No, I was just gonna say, if Christopher Columbus had Moors as his navigators, he knows who the Moors are.
No, you didn't know, there was a Portuguese guy from Portugal, right? So it was a mulatto, that's so-called, that's that they call us a mixed race, that's
Right?
whatever they
It was, what did you call the person again?
They use the word mulatto.
Mulatto, right? Okay.
It's more, the word.
But you know,
Right?
you know why they're more?
Well, that's what they're not conscious.
Mulatto,
They use the
right?
word mulatto. They use the word mulatto.
Yeah, they use the word mulatto, but that's not their identity.
No, it's not their identity.
Right?
That's what they use at that time.
That's just a label for them. Right? Melungian describes populations thought of to be mixed European, Sub-Saharan African, and Native American, or more. But there's no such thing as a Native American, because Native America is a geographical location and has nothing to do with a person, or an entity, or a being. Native American means a geographical location. Doesn't mean a type of people. Mixed race families, free people of color, Moors. Because they're free people. They just happen to be of color. And color is semblance. They happen to be of fraud. They're free people, but they happen to be of fraud. Example, black, Negro, colored, whatever. But they're free people. Right? Documented as migrating with European American neighbors in the first half of the 18th century to the frontier of Virginia and North and South Carolina, and were listed as free mulattoes. So mulattoes are Moors.
Seen slave and raped.
Right? Mulattoes are Moors. And majority of the time, when you see, like the top one, when you see Europeans during slavery time, that they say that's blackface. But it's not blackface, they're mulattoes. And blackface was a game that they were playing to get those people now out of the bloodline. Because they would become a mockery. Because anybody could just put some black stuff on their face and then laugh, and then we think they're talking about us and say, "Oh, you guys are racist." They're not talking about us. They're talking about mulattoes. They were talking about their own races that were niggers. Their own people. That's what blackface was about. The Turkish term melankan, an Arabic phrase melanjin, mean a cursed soul, an outcast. Jinn. But not all jinn are evil either. So don't get caught up in that thing and dash away your birthright. Because what was that movie with Medusa and
Oh, Sinbad, the Golden Voyage of Sinbad or something like that, with Medusa?
I think it was last year or something.
New one came out? Clash of the
Clash of
Titans.
the
yeah.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans, the Moors.
I'm old, brothers, I'm old.
You know, Clash of the Titans with the Moors, with the blue heart.
Mhm.
And Medusa couldn't kill him, and he's laughing at Medusa.
Yeah.
You know? Like, telling us everything. Straight letting us know. Blackface letting us know that there's European people who look like us. Like, they're European. But they're dark-skinned people. Right? That's early in the mixing of the whole Moors and having European women in their harem and trading European women like commodities during slavery time. This isn't like before slavery time, like during slavery time. The Moors selling Europeans. And that was the real slave trade. The slave trade wasn't us on ships being brought back and forth. The slave trade was them on ships being brought back and forth by us.
That's where the name comes from.
Out of Slovakia.
Slav.
Slav.
Yeah, where's that statue again? I saw it in one of my trips to Europe. There's a statue of a white slave that they call Slav. I forgot what country it is.
Yeah.
Representing the days when the Caucasians were slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as Moors, we stand by the supreme law of the land. And the supreme law of the land to Moors in the Northern Hemisphere is the Constitution for the United States of America Republic. Right? So, the fact that we're talking about Moors and there's all these references to South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey, you know, everything pretty much that seems to be quote unquote American or American, right? We're included in that as Canada, right? So, Articles of Confederation, November 15, 1777. Preamble. To all whom these presents may come, we the undersigned delegates of the states affix our names and send greeting. Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union between the states of New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, Province Plantations, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. When you go to Article Article 11, in the Articles of Confederation, which people say have to do with the United States of America, and then Canada separate from the United States of America. Article 11, Canada, acceding to this confederation and adjoining in the measures of the United States, shall be admitted into and entitled to all the advantages of this union, but no other colony shall be admitted into the same unless such admission be agreed by 9 states. So this is Articles of Confederation that was used to initiate the founding of the United States of American government. And in 1777, it's mentioned in Canada. But then Canada says that it was founded in 1867. So how could Canada be founded in 1867, but this document is mentioned in Canada in 1777? This is supposed to be the Articles of Confederation. And the reason I'm repeating things is so that it can be digested really what's going on every single level, right? The Articles of Confederation that set up the United States of America, that people say Canada is separate because we're under the Queen and all of that. We have the Queen on our money and this is a monarchy. In 1777, Articles of Confederation is telling us, because this is the document that they put out in allegiance with the Moors, because this is their charter for their business, so that, and it has to be made public knowledge, right? Because they are forming a confederation. And these are the articles for the confederation that they're forming called the United States. And it says that Canada's admitted into the Union, which means Canada's part of the United States. So Canada's part of the United States of America.
Not America, right? You don't even show it already.
Right? But not in the sense of the geographical, from the government perspective. From the perspective of the President of the United States is Barack Obama, right? He has direct relations to Canada, more than they're telling people that there's relations. Because Canada and the United States is one. They're not separate entities. They present it as separate entities to dumb down the people. But the people should know, if they read historical documents, it'll tell them everything right there,
So they put a de facto government under the de facto government.
in their face.
It's funny that I just thought of a couple of things. One of them is that D.C. and Canada, when we use the quote-unquote terms, right, have a president representing that they don't get to vote in. What I mean by that is the D.C. doesn't have an official senator, from my knowledge, right? They don't have an official senator,
Yeah.
right? So they don't vote somebody in to represent them.
Yeah.
While Canada here too just watches the president get elected, all right?
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever it says.